Greetings. We're back. Well, well, well. Where are we today on this beautiful day of July the 20th? We are back with Hayley Comet offering to raise money for the Young slash Simon family. After repeatedly being told by the family on multiple levels, in multiple connotations, to stay away from us. So, what we're going to be diving into today is recapping on why this woman insists on being a thorn in this family's side. I'll tell you why. Money. I can't say it enough. I've said it before. I'll say it again, and I'm saying it now. Haley Comet's sole purpose on TikTok is to gain monetary revenue. It is not about justice for Adriana Young. It is about finding a way to always stay relevant. And how does she stay relevant? Because Haley Comet has a following of people who are equally, per my standard, questionable, is how I'll say it, just to be somewhat respectful to those that I don't know. But I would like to say other words, but I'm going to, as always, try to walk in grace even when I'm gully. So let's take a dive into where we are today. There's been a lot of things that has come out that has been spoken about. And once again, HC is riding the bandwagon. So let's take a listen to this latest post for the family.
Told everybody on her Facebook story that Adriana Young's baby sister Gabby, who is a couple of years younger than Adriana, has been admitted to hospital twice due to the fact that she is struggling to cope with the loss of her sister. She is absolutely struggling with grief and missing her sister, and just kind of probably the unfairness of it all. 3 months ago they were a family of 3 children and 2 parents, and now there is a gaping hole in their family in the shape of Adriana. This is absolutely heartbreaking. Now, Amika goes on to say that they've had to confiscate the phone off of Gabby because she is consistently just spending all day, every day crying and looking at photos and videos of Adriana. I am just so saddened to hear this. Obviously we knew that Gabby and also Adriana's younger brother were going to struggle, and what they've gone through is so unfair, so horrific and so tragic. And on top of that, they now have 2 parents who are not the same as they were before. They are in deep grief, and I'm just so sorry. And like I always offer, if any of Adriana's family are watching this video and there is anything I can do to help at all, whether it be pay for some counselling or sort out some kind of treats for Gabby and also Adriana's baby brother, if there's anything we can do, to even help out a little bit, we always will. So please get in contact if that's something that would be helpful. So yesterday, Amika Lewis, who's the
What more does it take for HC to leave this family alone? See, people that are under the guise of a capitalistic mentality always feels that money rules everything. And there are people in this life, I pride myself on being one, that are not driven by money. There has been ample opportunities that I've walked away from a situation where I could be set for life, but it would have come against my integral, my moral compass. And in the beginning, for those of you that are new to my channel, I am Sister Snap. I call myself the voice of the voiceless. Call me Snap, Sister Snap, Miss Snap, whatever you want as it pertains to Snap, as long as we're snapping together and we are addressing truth, facts, and justice as it pertains to this Adriana case. So I pride myself on moving in a moral compass. And I believe this Young family slash Simon family in the beginning had no idea of who she was. Matter of fact, I know that was the case because we're going to prove it. For those of you that are new to my channel, if you don't know where I am in this conversation, I would implore you to go back and look at my previous episodes because we are unpacking and unveiling the reality of who HC is. Now, this family has on multiple occasions asked for her to clear off. In fact, she, and we'll revisit this, stated herself that she was no longer going to be addressing the case anymore. But we're also going to address why she's still here, how she's still here, etc., etc. So let's pull that up and let's talk about that.
Hey guys, so I'm making this video with just pure sadness in my heart, really. But after today, I'm going to be stepping back from the Adriana case, and I won't be covering it anymore. And I will be covering.
We heard that, right? Maybe we didn't. For those in the back, let's run it again.
Hey guys, so I'm making this video with just pure sadness in my heart, really. But after today, I'm going to be stepping back from the Adriana case, and I won't be covering it anymore.
Now, this was weeks ago. And since then, not only has the family continually told her to stay away, they're no longer speaking to her because now the veil has been lifted and the family on both sides knows exactly who she is. Enough information is being placed into the a place at the feet of so many that may have not known about HC. And they know who she is now. And they have said, like I can't say enough, leave us alone. Now, she just stated she was going to leave them alone. But here she is now reporting again. And this is something that I will remind you all that are either on the fence about HC or just completely oblivious to HC or are in complete denial about HC. This woman does not report on facts. This woman reports on hearsay, the same way and accessibility that we can have to gain information about what's current per se with the Young and the Simon family is through social media. Anytime Amika Lewis, the auntie, posts something, anytime Angie states something now that she's no longer directly communicating with HC, she is like a I can't even describe it because I can't fathom it because I'm not that I don't have that makeup. I don't have that type of programming about myself. But she is all over the place and making sure she is all over social media to get any little crumb that she can gain to then go back to this community who are like little minions, respectfully, but minions that are waiting for her to report on something that them themselves could have gone and just taking a little bit more energy to do their own due diligence. Hence, I've been saying all along, people do your research. Stop waiting on someone else to give you their version, their diluted perspective on something because you're never going to get the full facts. So we just watched a video about her saying how she deeply moved she is with the family and she's bringing up these people's children and doesn't even know the son name. But remember, she was in let her tell it, let her tell it. She was in direct communication with the family all this time up until the family shut her completely out. So if you're in complete communication with the family and you talk to them on a regular, how do you not know the children's name, which the baby sister of Adriana Young is Gabrielle, the baby brother of Adriana Young is Saeed. How do you not know that name? But you claim to be, technically speaking, best friends with the family. And you all, the ones that are in the comments that are Hayley is our queen, etc., etc., you all, are you just, what is it about your life that makes you not want to deal with facts? You'd rather deal in delusion along with this woman. I know what it is. It's people that are victims of their own pain and trials and tribulations throughout life, and they're looking for a place to be seen, a place to be heard, a place where they feel accepted, even if it's unhealthy. So, with that being stated, we'll talk about some traits of narcissism or narcissists. Let's look at this right here and let's explore this. If you can see this here, it says narcissistic personality disorder symptoms, a sense of grandiosity or excessive self importance. Recurrent fantasies of being powerful, successful, beautiful, or important. Beliefs of being special and exceptional. Excessive need for validation, praise, and admiration from others. Feeling deserving of special treatment. Exploiting others for personal gain. That's a good one. Personal gain or selfish reasons. Lacking empathy or being unwilling to identify with the needs of others. Now, if that doesn't speak to the point that we're talking about today, where this woman has a lack of empathy, has repeatedly shown her lack of empathy when the family and others have asked this woman to clear off, leave us alone. Being envious of others or believing others are envious of them. Arrogant and haughty behavior. Let's assess that. Are those every single bullet point that we just spoke about? Is that not characteristics or indicative, rather, of the characteristics of HC? Now, as it pertains to the money, where this one won't be a long episode. We just want to dive into this because I got to get ready for my live episode with a sister channel who is just a lovely person and loves to report on current events, but also wants to report on factual events and factual topics as it pertains to justice for Adriana Young. So this afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. London time, I will be literally a co-host on the show of OMGGG TV with that beautiful sister, along with another co-host, Beth O. So please join in for that, where we will really be delving even deeper into this whole "Who is Hayley Comet" question that is currently being raised amongst the frequency of the people in social media. So this will not be a long episode, but I do want to dive and I will dive deeper, and I do want to discuss where we are now with this woman trying to, as usual, and this is what I've stated in my previous episodes, and I again would implore you all to go and look at the other episodes, especially the one that pertains strictly about Hayley as it pertains to what I'm about to say, which is this is a tactic. This, what she just did with that first post that we listened to, as it pertains to, please, family, get in contact with me. I'd like to offer you some money. What that is a ploy. That is the if you've ever heard the analogy or the saying, putting the cheese in front of the mouse or the mice so that they'll, run, or putting the carrot in front of the rabbit. So you figure in your mind that these people still need money because you understand the plight that they have in front of them as it pertains to getting justice for their daughter and fighting an ongoing legal battle. That takes money, that takes revenue. So now you're trying to tease these people into coming back to talking to you with a little bit of money. People, how low and how the word that I think is predictable is this woman. This is what she does with every case. So I'm not here to completely just go all in and bash her, but we just stating the facts. And this is not justice for Adriana Young. So we look at the first post where this woman wants to say, oh, how her heart is, oh, the family's dealing with this, and Amisha, they had to take the phone from Gabrielle, trying to play on these people's emotion, and then ending with, if there's anything I can do to raise money, whatever. Mind you, she skims off the top. Let's not forget that. Please go back and look at my previous episodes. But let's take a look at, again, her track record, her character, what she does. This is her. Again, remember now, you're offering to raise money for these people, but we're just going to take a quick snippet of when this woman and the cousin, who was the official GoFundMe raiser for the family, got into it because this woman, Hayley Comet HC, did not account for the funds that she raised previously. So why would these people trust you now?
I have some of the screenshots of money that was sent to her personal checking account, but those receipts also show.
Her personal checking
But
account.
listen, no shade
Her
and,
personal
and
checking
no
account.
negativity. I'm just speaking what I have seen and what has been sent to me, and it also shows her personal transactions over.
So, so people, it's a little choppy, unfortunately. I don't know why that is, but this is because in a lot of tries that I can't say enough has been a pivotal force in helping the family with fundraising. It's stating that shots, she's been getting screenshots. People have reached out to her concerned about where the money that they donated went to, et cetera, et cetera. Alana Trotz is stating that, hey, I got screenshots. I see where the money was sent to her personal account. We've already talked about why it went to her personal account, so you can go back and look at the other episode. But towards the end, Alana Trotz states that all of the money was not accounted for. She states towards the end, I can't speak for everything because we don't know where all of the money went to. She says that. So, with that being stated, this is a family now that's going to question the genuineness, even if they were willing to accept the money. And I'm curious to know from the people in the comments, Phil, do you think that this family should accept any money from Haley or even allow her, for that matter, to raise funds on their behalf after this last fiasco? Let me see if this clip is going to play where Alana actually states it because it's really long and I want to see if that part is in
Yeah,
here.
it's got 66 followers.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I feel like because the
That's what
family's
I'm saying.
grieving.
These grown ass people don't have nothing better to do
Yeah.
than to create fake accounts and to cause drama because they're so.
That might
One
not
the
be.
other guy, he's very out of line, and I think the family need to put them in check. You
Yeah, the
understand?
one Guyana, yeah, he's very
Yeah.
rude.
That side, Barbara. We're going to get into one Guyana as well because I have clips that we're going to talk about tomorrow in my live. But long story short, and I'll find the clip, I'll find the actual part, that section, that timestamp where Alana speaks to the fact that all of the money wasn't accounted for. But as she stated, which kind of gives you an inclination that money can't be fully accounted for because it was sent to HC's personal business account. So we're going to dive down that rabbit hole a little bit further tomorrow during the live. So definitely stay tuned for that. So that's just one aspect. Okay. Now let's go back to where the family has stated they didn't know her. So for those that are new to my channel, again, this is all about awareness. This isn't any hate. This is just letting people know that HC is not a healthy person to have to represent for anybody's family at all. Take a listen.
Okay. Wait, let me work my camera. Oh, you're not seeing me. Wednesday. Can you see the top where it says Wednesday?
Yep.
Wednesday at 11:23 p.m. Please donate to the GoFundMe. Yeah?
Hi dear, none of us, my sister. I am Adriana's aunt, Amika. So Amika nor Amicia was on the phone with Haley. We have no dealings with her to send money. But you can send it to the GoFundMe.
Now just to prove it's her auntie, the auntie has then posted the GoFundMe. Look, she done that 1 hour ago. She said, "Good evening, family. For those who wish to donate," again, that was 9 hours ago. She said, "Please share this so you will not be scammed." That was 9 hours. This was after Haley's claim. She's spoken to the auntie. She's spoken to the family. Yeah? And this is Amika's page. Okay? Now, let me try and get back on my camera.
Now, are we seeing all of the different parts of the puzzle for those that are just right here at the end of it, but don't know all of the moving components that played a part in where we are today with content creators like myself saying, leave the family alone, HC. Enough is enough. You have been egregious in this case and so many others. Nicola Bullies, Jay Slater. I can't say it enough. You understand? So many. John George. Every case that you touch for the most part ends in a family being livid with HC. and asking HC to clear off, even in some cases, literally her life being threatened because of the harm and the disruption that she causes not only to the families but to the case in itself. Now, remember the focus about the money because that's what we started off with. Is this woman now making the newest post she made about, oh, the baby going to the hospital and taking her phone away and how concerned HC is and how she wants to give money, asking the family to get in contact with her. Anybody that comes on a social media platform and please directly to a person like me saying, hey, Bougie Bonton, I love you. I love you a long time. I've been his wife, even though he might not know it, since I was 14 years old. And me saying, making a public plea to him. But prior to that, I said, oh, me and Boogie's good friends. Oh, I know all of his family. Oh, Bougie, he's down in Miami. I'm here in Florida. Ray, 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 ray. But then I make a public plea to Bougie on a platform such of this magnitude. What does that say? That would say that no, Sister Snap does not clearly have direct contact with Bougie Bonton. Because if she did, she would pick up the phone and she would call him. So why is she reaching out to the family this way? You understand? Are we putting the pieces together, people? Are we putting the pieces together? Now, the family asked her to leave them alone. We just heard the aunt say they have no dealings with Hayley. This was way long before they even fully knew who she was. Okay. Now this is her. Let's take a look at this.
Negative Alana about the GoFundMe and asking for confirmation that it's the right GoFundMe is two totally separate things. And again, it's come back to the GoFundMe. It's just about the GoFundMe. And this is what I'm saying, Alana. I'm going to make a decision just to block you at this point. I'll deal with the immediate family from this point onwards, and you can do what you like to do. But you're not going to gaslight or bait me into fights, because that's the only... Was I going mad then? Now, because literally, in 2 lives today, she's got up and started going mad about something that's not happened. Like, completely gaslit a situation. And then afterwards, when I'm like, no, that's not what happened, she's like, I didn't post the post, I didn't do that. But and then it goes back to, you didn't say the GoFundMe, and it's all about the GoFundMe. And all I'm asking for is for people to start shouting. No, I would never say anything bad about Adriana. Because she's going to stop a lot of people working on this case with that attitude. But honestly, what is the aim there? Like, she's from America. She's obviously been around enough stuff to know what's going on. Like, who is she working for? That's mad to me. Falls back on my ex, and for fuck's sake, that was mad. Like, what is that about? Like, even when I'm saying, like...
You see, people, again, I've stated this before. This is always the end result with HC. Again, this person, Alana Trotz, who this woman has gotten into it with multiple times, is a blood relative of that baby's mother, of that baby, Adriana Young. And you have the audacity, and that goes back to the narcissistic symptoms we were looking at, that grandiosity, that feeling of self-importance. Like you, and as Alana stated before, you've inserted yourself, HC, in family business. Because that is the mindset and the programming of narcissists. And as a victim of one, and we will talk about that more because that's what this podcast was birthed from, my pain, and not having a safe place to share. So as we progress beyond all of this HC rubbish and cantankerousness, we're going to get into helping each other heal, especially my sisters. But do we see the patterns, the mannerisms? It's repetitive, right? And it always falls back to money. But where it really stemmed from was this situation for those, again, who are new to my channel and who haven't seen the other episodes. This is when HC started to truly go off the freaking rails because she had already implicated Sabrian Young's mother very early on in the case based off of hearsay.
Truth. The people want to know the truth, though. You hear telling you, everybody wants to know what really happened.
I'm gonna bring Hayley on the live. I'm gonna bring Hayley on the live, right?
No.
Don't bring her. Oh shit.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi Hayley.
Hi, are you okay?
I already accept her.
Yeah, I'm fine.
So Haley, how everything with you?
Yeah, everything's good. Yeah, everything's good. Still fighting. How are you?
I'm good. Haley, as of right now, he don't feel comfortable to be on live with you. I don't know why.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm sorry about this. Yeah.
Good.
I think the reason he don't want to bring her up is because he don't want to get mixed up with the questions and answer anything out of the way. I'm so sorry about that, chat. I already clicked the invite because a lot of people was telling that he's gonna be okay with that. Yo, bro. Yeah, bro.
When I come out of this life, I can message you something. You tell
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
When I come out of this life, I can message you something. Right.
Chat, everybody.
That was cringy. Was it just me, or was that cringy? Like, I'm gonna play it again, just so we can process it, because sometimes we need to see things more than once. But I remember when I was on that live, I remember watching it and I was saying to myself, and this was again very early on, and I made a post about it on my TikTok channel. And I said, and this again was before I fully knew who HC was. I said, "Oh, that was cringy." And being a person that has a very serious level of discernment, I said to myself and watching, right? Because we need to watch sometimes, just sit back and watch. I said to myself, I said, it's either one or two things. The first thing that my spirit told me was, he is not pleased. She has done something where he's like, no, don't bring that woman on with me. That's what my spirit told me. But then, because I'm always trying to be rational about things and look at things twofold, or play what some people say devil's advocate, I say, well, maybe it's not necessarily a negative connotation or a negative, gesture. Maybe it's, there's something going on in the Guyana soils where people might be watching HC, and he is not only protecting himself, but he could be, as a byproduct, protecting this woman from getting backlash, et cetera, et cetera. Because as we talked about before in the very beginning, she, being how she is, needed attention, needed to make herself known that she was involved with the family per se, or quote unquote, not per se, had this man come on a live and say, "Y'all be nice to Haley. Don't be troubling she. She's a good woman, etc., etc." Because she needed that accolade. It wasn't for him. He did that for her, because she was behind closed doors saying, "Hey, like, people are attacking me." And this is the narcissist. They always play the victim. They go and kick up dust and create all kind of commotion. They're like people that throw rocks at a car driving and then hide and be like, "I don't know what happened. I don't know how you got that there." They don't take accountability for their actions. And then not only do they do that, they then play the victim. So let's run that one more time before we get out of here and close up and get ready for this live on OMGGG TV via YouTube later on. Well, we're getting there. Let's do it this way. Could we say technical difficulties? People is trying to. Mercury is going in retrograde.
That side.
For the people to know the truth, the people want to know the truth, though. Yeah, telling you, everybody want to know what really happened. Yeah,
I'm gonna
telling
bring
you.
Haley on the live. I'm gonna bring Haley on the live, right?
No.
Don't bring her. Oh shit.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi Haley.
Hi, are you okay?
I already accept her.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Quickly, for those of us that are watching, I'm going to pull it back a little bit, hope that it works. I want you all to look at HC's eyes. And for those of us that have that spirit of discernment and that, understands the energies. I want you to look in her eyes when she came on and when she says hello. It had a defensive, I'm angry, you haven't been talking to me, what the F type of energy behind her eyes. Pay close attention to the eyes, people, and the demeanor, and the the hello. Pay attention to that, people. These are the things that we are getting away from as human beings. We're spiritual people having a human experience because we got all this white noise, so we're desensitized. But peel some of that back. Take some of that off you and get back to your spirit and look at her eyes, people.
Hi, are you okay?
I already accept her.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Can you hear me?
Hi, Haley.
Hi, are you okay?
No.
Don't bring her. Oh, shit.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi, Haley.
Hi, are you okay?
I already accept her.
Yeah, I'm fine.
People notice how Brian turned his whole body. He wouldn't even look at her. So that's what, when I was originally processing and trying to, analyze and dissect this thing, look at the nonverbal cues, that's when I made my theory, my strong educated theory that this wasn't the latter of my questions or my theories, meaning that he was trying to protect himself and her. I fell back to my first question, my first theory, which is he's not happy with her. And as we move forward in me doing my due diligence and research is when I realized by that point she had already started attacking his mother and saying some very unflattering things about his family. So that was a man who was trying to conduct himself professionally, non combatively, but make it very known that I have nothing to say to you. I don't want to look at you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want nothing to do with you. And that's why he told Damien, yo, when we come off of this live, I'm going to message you something that more than likely was him letting Damien know what really go on. But Damien, being a person of content creation, I talk about it all the time, he wanted the followers, wanted to bring Haley on because it brings numbers to his platform. When he said, "Oh shit," like you could have easily not, you could stop her from coming on, but no shade, but shade. You wanted that to happen because you needed the. Ooh, oh my God, did y'all see that? So in any event, we all just witnessed where this all began. When Haley started to attack the family, this is where it started. That video that we saw, and that brings in, the sister of Amisha, Amika Lewis, saying we don't have no dealings with Haley. You heard Amisha in the background from that video I played. We ain't got no dealings with Haley. I played it before. I'll play it again if need be. It is a pattern of the family saying we don't know this woman, but the family has, because she did what she does best, got her minions, her followers. I don't want to say minions because that could be perceived as disrespectful, but her followers, her devotees, to give X amount of money, which is interesting to me, to gain the attention of these people, because that's what will happen. Money will get people's attention. These people like, oh, this woman raised, which it was more than 8,000, really $9,000, but she only gave close to 6,000. So where the other 3K, close to 3K, went, we don't know, but we know, but we don't know. So we're gonna close out on that note. This woman, again, is offering this family through social media to raise money and to donate for therapy. And real quick before we get out of here, I want to say it so bad, but we're on a platform where I don't want to use some of my colorful language that I can use, because I'm still human. But some like you are a part of the reason why the people need therapy, and now you want to pay. That is, see, that's a narcissist. Again, and I said this before. One of my earlier posts about this woman. You cannot be my oppressor, my antagonist, my all of these negative things, and also be my redeemer, my savior. That are that rather is complete characteristics of a narcissist. I know because I dealt with it for years with a narcissist and was in therapy for 3 years to unpack all of that pain that I walked through. Hence why we're here today to the Snap Ministry podcast, which is we are turning pain into purpose. And people like this, the question that we're posing is, do we as a society need people like this, content creators, to be reporting and claiming to be helping families that are going through tumultuous tragedies in their life? So we're going to close out today. Thank you for listening. Again, this was just a recap. So to remind people of who this woman is, what her antics and her tactics are that she used to seep into family's life, it's always about money with her. Even when she is at the nucleus, the crux of people's pain, then she wants to use money to seep her way and slizzle her way out of it. So join us tomorrow on the Snap Ministry podcast. We'll be live tomorrow, the 21st of July, and we'll be delving deep, asking questions if anyone has been a victim of HC or anybody for that matter, and you just want to call and you want to have a safe place to unpack. Give us a ring, give us a holler. I'm going to post the call-in line tonight, so you'll see that when we post. And you just let's just heal and turn our pain into purpose. And until then, give us a shout, a like, a comment, share this with people so that, again, we're sharing information to help others, prevent them from going through the same inflictions, the same pain, the same grievances that HC has caused the Young and the Simon family. The goal here is to focus on helping others to not have to deal with HC and the things that she brings to the table as it pertains to her false narratives, her chaos, all of the above. And don't forget, we will be on OMGGG TV this evening, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York time, 8 p.m. London time, having a good conversation on stating the facts, getting the truth, and seeking justice for Adriana. Until then, beautiful people, light and love, peace and blessings. Follow.